Respected scholars, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Will the non-religious have an opportunity to be with the Mahdi? Will the non-religious have a role with the Mahdi? Will the non-religious have any relationship with the Mahdi? Yesterday we said that the people of the world religions all await a savior at the end of mankind's existence. A savior who will bring good and justice and remove oppression. If you're a Zoroastrian or a Buddhist, a Hindu or a Sikh, if you're Jewish or Christian, within your literature, it is clearly mentioned that there is an awaited savior who will bring peace and prosperity to mankind. What if you don't belong to a religion? Will the Mahdi mean anything to you or not? The people of those religions, because they have been brought up believing in an awaited savior, when the Mahdi appears, will be able to relate to him easily. Every Sunday in church, every Saturday at the synagogue, every Friday in the mosque, they heard lectures about the awaited savior. Whether it was the Messiah, son of David, whether it's the Messiah, Jesus Christ, whether it's the Mahdi, they were brought up listening to lectures on him. That means that when he appears, they'll have some sort of idea about a messianic figure. They had messianic expectations as they were growing up. How about that person who's not religious at all? Will the Mahdi have any bearing on his life or not? Will that person have a chance to be with the Mahdi or not? Imagine now you have a friend of yours who's not religious at all. Never have they talked about God with you. Never have they prayed. Never have they fasted. They're good human beings, but they have no interest in religion whatsoever. They'll tell you that, listen, I'm here to enjoy my life. I'm not going to harm anyone. I want to work Monday to Friday, earn myself a livelihood, build myself a family, go on a couple of holidays a year, enjoy those holidays, and then when I die, I'll eventually die. Those people, will they have any role with Imam Mahdi or no? Will they even be interested in the appearance of Imam Mahdi or the appearance when it occurs? Because when we say that Al-Mahdi is Al-Hujjah on the earth, that he's God's proof on the earth, someone who's now partying or clubbing in Spain or Greece, what does he have to do if the trumpet blows and says that the Mahdi has appeared? As in now someone who's in Ibiza, or someone who's in Ayia Napa, or someone who's in parts of Italy, for example, or someone who is in Monaco, or someone who's in Saint-Tropez. That person this summer is on their yacht, they're enjoying a few drinks, they're enjoying the beach. That person is far away from a Ramadan majlis on night 3, yes? That person is not sitting here with us in a majlis. That person is merrymaking, having a couple of drinks, enjoying their life. They're not bad people, mind you. If you go and sit with them, you'll probably have the best time with them. Outside of that merrymaking time at work, they're trustworthy, they're honorable. That person, when the trumpet supposedly blows, will they have any interest in the Mahdi or no? Because for someone like that, they're far away from religion. If God says the Hujjah is his proof on earth, meaning the Hujjah, when he arrives, everyone will hear the trumpet, that person chilling at the moment in a part of Vegas, what does he have to do with the trumpet? As in, that person will turn around and say, listen, I'm enjoying my life over here. I have a nice pool and I have my drink next to the pool. You guys continue with your theological and legal wars. You give yourself headaches in your communities. I'm relaxed and I'm enjoying my life. Can that person ever become a member of the Mahdi movement or no? Because how many of us have friends who are not religious, don't believe in God, but are very good human beings, correct? That person, when the Mahdi returns, will they be interested in meeting the Mahdi? Will they even care that the Mahdi is a Messiah or not? Do these words, Messiah, actually make a difference to them or no? And don't forget something about these people. These people may go to the nightclub, to the casino. They may also go to many of the parties. But you find them caring about the rights of animals, yes? Some of them sponsor organizations where if animals are being oppressed, they will give great donations. Some of them look after orphans around the world. Some of them undertake marathons or long distance walks for children in Africa who have no water. Now I face a dilemma. This person doesn't believe in God, but his behavior is godly. Yes? He doesn't believe in God, but his behavior is godly. When the Mahdi appears, such a person who is far away from religion, but his actions every day are more actively religious than the so-called religious, can that person have a bearing and a chance on being with the Imam? As in today, when I see organizations in the world, I see organizations against human trafficking. I see organizations for people who are being forced into hard labor. I see organizations for human rights. Many of the people in those organizations have never been to a mosque, never been to a church, never been to a synagogue, never been to a gurdwara in their lives. Do you agree? Many of them, they've never been to any religious institution. But the way they think about humanity, the way they think about the world we live in, you begin to ask yourself a question. When Imam Mahdi returns, those Shia of his, those followers of his, who claim to love him, who have never ever helped or spoken for the rights of children, for the rights of women who are being abused, for the rights, for example, of orphans in the world, those who have never spoken for the rights of animals who are being left with no food, do they deserve to be with the Mahdi simply because they used to turn up to the mosque, while the person who was actively trying to change society but did not know about the Mahdi cannot be in the army of the Mahdi? If you ask the traditional of our community, someone who's an atheist, doesn't believe in God, where will they go? They'll say to you straight away, this person, no way he's with 12th Imam. This person's going to hell. He's going to burn in hell. You say, hold on. But the person is a good human being. The person has looked after the rights of his fellow creations. The person's heart breaks when he sees children in Thailand forced into prostitution, both male and female. That person is going to hell? Say, yes, sorry, that person will never be with Imam Mahdi because that person doesn't believe in imamate. And so who's going to be with Imam Mahdi? The one who's in the majalis, who sits in the majalis, all he does is backbite and gossip and cause trouble and make videos and attacks. That person's with Imam Mahdi. That conundrum was raised by the 6th Imam and forms the basis of my lecture tonight. 6th Imam has a hadith where he says, the sons of Fatima will oppose the Mahdi, while the ones who worship the sun and the moon will be the first to support the Mahdi. Hold on. Ja'far al-Sadiq just said something unbelievable. He said the sons of Fatima, who normally view themselves as holier than everyone on earth, yes? The sons of Fatima will oppose the Mahdi, while the first to come to the call of the Mahdi will be those who worship the sun and the moon. Wait, Imam, they don't worship Allah. What are you talking about? That person who worships the sun and the moon comes to the Mahdi, and the one who's the son of Zahra, the one who walks around saying, I am from the line of Zahra, that person will oppose. Without a doubt, Imam al-Sadiq had a valid point. And I'd like to examine this point in tonight's lecture. That what is the position of the non-religious, not the non-Muslim, the non-religious. And I use this word religious loosely, yes? Until today, I don't know what religious means, by the way. But that I'll leave for a discussion another day, inshallah. Because every Tom, Dick, and Harry is called religious these days, yes? That person who's non-religious, that person will answer the call of the Imam. Let's examine this in the following stages, in order that we show how the same thing happened with the grandfather of the Imam will happen with the Imam himself. I'd like to examine this in the following stages. Number one, why are people non-religious? And what's the reason in the world you may have a good human who doesn't like organized religion? Number two, when the Prophet came to Mecca, there were many non-religious, non-believers in God. How did he persuade them that he was a Messiah? Did he care about fiqh or did he care about akhlaq? And how has it occurred with us today? Number 3, when the ayah says he is the one who sent amongst the illiterates a prophet who would recite the signs and purify the people, how did this purification and social reform affect the like of Ammar, Bilal, and the likes of whom? And the likes of Abu Dhar al-Ghafari in joining the religion of Islam. Number 4, what will be the condition of the people upon the appearance of the Mahdi? And how does the Mahdi have a role in removing sex slavery, human trafficking, poverty, as well as corruption and oppressive rulers? And how will people be magnetized to the Mahdi because of these social reforms? Number 5, what did Imam al-Hussein mean on the 10th of Muharram? That even if you don't believe in God or the Day of Judgment, then at least live as free human beings. Let's examine this in order that we understand that the non-religious have as much chance as the religious of being with the 12th Imam. Question: why are people good but not religious? What do we mean? We see many times there are people who are good human beings. They take your trash out in the morning. They give you a gift when you have a baby at home. When you ask them what's your religion, they say, sorry, we're not religious. You don't believe in any religion? No. So you're not even Christian? No. Muslim? No. But you've got such good morals, why aren't you religious? There's normally 3 reasons people don't want to be religious, even when they're good human beings. The first reason is the hypocrisy of the religious. What do I mean? When the priest is telling the world that you should be good human beings, you should look after your children, and then half the choir has been the victims of abuse, that person who was coming to church every Sunday thinks to themselves, priest, I trusted you. You're the leader of the church. When I left my child to be in your choir, I expected you to look after my child, not to abuse my child. Do you know how many people in North America today and how many people in Europe hate religion because of the abuse against children in the church? Many left religion not because they were bad people, but because when you see the top of the religion is hypocritical, then you don't want religion. Why? Because the human sometimes has a false conclusion. What is it? The people represent the religion, and that sometimes is the worst conclusion. George Bernard Shaw used to say, Islam is the best religion with the worst followers. Yes? The religion, Islam, is a wonderful religion. The followers, if you were to look at them, you wouldn't want to join the religion. The first reason a lot of people are not religious, never think it's because they're bad people. No, there are a lot of people who are not religious, not members of religion, but they're good human beings. You find the first reason is hypocrisy. They see the leaders of the mosque, the leaders of the church, the leaders of the synagogue, the Buddhist monk. They see the person heading the temple. Then they see that person scamming the money of the community, running away with the money which was meant to be given to projects in the community. That person straight away says, you know what? I don't want religion, because if the religious are like this, then why would I want to be part of that religion? Therefore, the first reason was what? Hypocrisy. The second reason was what? Holier than thou in a religion push you away from being religious. What do I mean? A girl comes to the mosque. Her hijab is not the best hijab, yes? But at least she's come to the mosque. Alhamdulillah. She's come Shahar Ramadan to the majlis. She's come Muharram to the majlis. Yes, her hijab, maybe it can be worked on. When she enters the mosque, instead of the religious of the mosque, if they're truly religious, instead of them coming to her and saying, welcome, come, can we help you with anything? Is there any help that you need? Straight away you see the whispers between the members of the community. Look at her hijab, she can't even wear hijab properly. Look at her, no akhlaq, no respect, hypocrite, this, that. That girl is coming to a mosque, or she's coming into a microwave oven, yes? That girl is coming into a place of mercy, or she's coming to a place of fire. Sometimes the holier than thou in our communities, the so-called religious who have never done anything wrong, yes? And subhanallah, there are some, they've got such glass houses, yes? They've got the glass house of glass house, and they're throwing stones on everybody, yes? where their house is a house made of glass. You can destroy it in 1 second. When I come to a mosque as a young man at the age of 21, you walk into a mosque, your hairstyle, maybe the latest hairstyle, your clothing, maybe the latest clothing. You walk in, you find someone supposedly religious. What is this? You are dressing like the Western people. Yes, Habibi, because I live in the West. I don't know if you realized. You live in the West and I live in the West. If you don't want to live in the West, then go home. Go home. No, but you can't. You've come to Allah's house. Yes, I know I've come to Allah's house. I would hope that you give me the benefit of the doubt that I've come to talk to my Allah. Yes? I've come to discuss with my Allah. The second reason people don't become religious is because the religious puts you off religion. Yes? When you look at the religious, they put you off. Instead of giving you the benefit of the doubt, instead of welcoming you to the house of Allah, a masjid is not your house. Yes? You don't have the freehold on a mosque. Husayniyah is not your house. You don't have the freehold of a mosque, of a Husayniyah. They're the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whoever comes to that congregation, Allah judges, not you. The second reason, the holier than thou. The third reason is what? The misinformation in the media about the religion. Yes? Sometimes there are people who want to join the religion of Islam. They look at the media tells them what? Islam is ISIS. ISIS is Islam. Say, hold on a minute. Which of us supports ISIS and what ISIS is doing? There's a minority and a ridiculous, filthy, ignorant minority that believes these people represent the religion of Islam. The majority of us have spoken out against ISIS. There's even websites now, Muslims condemn terrorism. Yes? We've spoken out. But there are many, when they look at CNN, or they look at Fox News, when they look at them, what do? When they look at them, they think to themselves, well, CNN and Fox News must be right, that these Muslims are terrorists, are barbaric, and so on. Hold on a minute. When in Burma, the monks are killing some of the Muslims, yes, no one says the Buddhists can be terrorists. When a Christian in Charleston kills, yes, when he kills the black over there, the black members of the community, does everyone say Christianity is bad? Sadly, sometimes those who don't become religious, you find that these people who do not become religious, it's because of what? It's because of the misinformation of the media. Yes? The misinformation of the media is what leads them to not becoming religious. And that's what happened with Rasulullah when he came to Mecca. Why? You think when Rasulullah came to Mecca, do you think the people over there were all religious? Who was religious in Mecca? When the Holy Prophet came, majority of those who became his Sahaba were not religious at the time. Do you agree or no? When the Holy Prophet came to Mecca, what do you think? Ammar bin Yasir was a philosopher in Augustine? Or what? Abu Dhar al-Ghafari was a master of Aquinas? Or what do you think? These people had come with genius minds. They had mastered Aristotle and Plato and Socrates' thoughts before them. Wallah, they were the most simple group of people. Yes? But Rasulullah realized one thing. Number one, everyone is welcome to this religion, whether they believe in God or not. Yes? When the Holy Prophet come, and that's why I always find, whenever the Prophet talks about Imam Zaman, he always says, what Imam Zaman goes through, I went through. Always. Yes? What 12th Imam will go through, I went through. Meaning what? 12th Imam, look how many people in the world are not religious. Those who are partying Ibiza, those who are clubbing in London, those people, would the 12th Imam come and say, you can't join? Not at all. The door for everybody is open as long as they are a good human being. What do I mean? When the Prophet came to Mecca, did he begin talking to these people who are not religious? Did he begin talking using fiqh, Islamic law? When you come to these people, Ammar, Abu Dhar, Bilal, do you begin by talking, you know what, this is halal, that's haram, this is wajib, this is makruh, halal, haram, wajib, makruh, makruh, halal, wajib, wajib, halal, wajib, makruh, halal. People will run away. People say, what have I come into? A university or a way of life? Yes? There was not one law of Islam introduced in the first 13 years of Islam. Because a religion that is controlled, monopolized, hijacked by law becomes a stale religion. A religion that begins with social reform and moral principles attracts every human being. When the Prophet announced his prophethood, Did he say straight away, I'm your prophet, pray 5 times a day? I'm your prophet, fast in Ramadan. All the verses of prayers and fasting came in Medina. Because I want this religion not to be a religion from day one. Haram, wajib, wajib, haram, makruh, wajib, haram. Let it be a religion which builds moral discipline in society. Yes? He said, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. I have come to perfect the morals of mankind. Shi'ism today is a school where law is number one and morals have become nothing. Islam began with morals at the top. Law came later. Shi'ism today, the reason there is no attraction is because the only discussion in the mosque is when is moon, when is moon. Whereas there's no moral discussion. When the Prophet first came, Ammar bin Yasir, Salman, Abu Dhar, all of them, what were they? All Ammar, Salman, Abu Dhar. Ammar, Abu Dhar, Miqdad, Ammar, Abu Dhar, Bilal. You think these people were philosophers of religion? Not at all. You think these people were able to debate you in philosophy and cosmology and metaphysics? Not at all. What made Ammar join the Messiah of his time? What made Abu Dhar join Rasulullah? What made Bilal join Rasulullah? What was it? Was it talking about law and theology only, having pedantic discussions on them? No. It was that they found that the Holy Prophet spoke things that made sense to them. And he spoke for social reform. He didn't straight away come and say, are you Bilal? Yes. You have to pray 5 times a day, and you have to fast in Ramadan, and you have to go on Hajj. And if you don't do any of these, you're going to burn in hell, Bilal. If I was Bilal, I'd run away, far away. Yes, I'll get the horse and run. When he came, he knew that the way to talk was what? The way to talk to them was by appreciating that they are human beings, good human beings. Yes, they may not have believed in God. Say Abu Dhar did not believe. Say Bilal did not believe. Say Ammar bin Yasir did not believe. Even some of them, let's say they worshipped idols. Yes, they used to bow down before idols. What attracted them to the Prophet? Yes, because today my friend who's having a party in Monaco, yes, my friend who's having a party in Monaco, someone tells me this person will never be with Imam Zaman. I'll be like, but wait, it depends how Imam Zaman offers the religion. Yes? If he looks at Imam Zaman in theology and legal terms only, he's not interested. I'll tell you from now. If he looks at Imam Zaman as a social reformer, looking to remove oppression in humanity, he'll run to Imam Zaman. How? When the Holy Prophet came, he saw there was racism against the black community in Arabia. Yes? He saw Abu Lahab, Abu Jahl, Utbah bin Rabi'a, Walid ibn al-Mughira, Umayyah bin Khalaf. They were arrogant to the black community. They would say the black is my slave. Yes? And Umayyah had a slave by the name of Bilal. Bilal was no philosopher. Bilal did not graduate from Cambridge. Bilal was not a philosopher from Harvard. Bilal was your average person. Yes? Bilal was your average person, not religious at all. Yes? Far away from deen. He had never met Nabi Isa, Nabi Musa. He had never met any of them. When Bilal came towards the religion of Islam, how? It's because he heard a man not saying, I'm your prophet, but rather saying, I want to stop racism in society. Simple, simple. I have come here to say, Ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha. Simple. يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله يتقاكم. O mankind, this is a simple message of Rasulullah. Very simple message. We created you from male and from female, different races, different tribes, in order that you get to know one another. Bilal, when he heard this, for the first time in his life, he thought to himself, that social reform and moral principle resonates with me. I'm black and I've not heard a voice for the black community. If Muhammad is offering a voice, then let me join the path of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Did Rasulullah sit with Bilal and say, Bilal, do you want to have a debate about evolution? Do you want to have a debate about atheism? No. Did he say to Bilal, Bilal, do you want to have a debate about zakat and khums? Let's debate zakat and khums so we become, you will then go to heaven. He said to him, do you want to work with me on removing racism? He said, yes. He said, then join me. Come with me. Bilal didn't need to hear that the man is called Sahib al-Zaman, Rasulullah, al-Nabi al-Akram, Abul Qasim. He is Muhammad who's speaking against racism. Finished. Let me join him. Let me give you another example. Abu Dhar al-Ghafari, Bani Ghafar, were known as gangsters, yes? They were highway thieves. If you go on a trip from Mecca, you have to pass them. And you know what they do? They'll take your caravan, they'll say, listen, give us 50% and we'll let you go. Yes? The whole of Bani Ghafar were gangsters. Abu Dhar was the only good one out of them. When he came to Mecca, he heard there was a man who was speaking against highway thieving and trafficking. That's all. Not a man who discussed cosmology, philosophy, teleology, ontology, none of that. A man who said, you shouldn't steal the goods of another human being. That's all. When Abu Dhar heard this, he came to meet the Holy Prophet. On his way, he saw Ali ibn Abi Talib. Ali ibn Abi Talib took him to Rasulullah. Rasulullah explained to him Islam simply. Rasulullah did not tell him theology and philosophy and law. He just said to him, we have a social reform program in Arabia. He said to him, what is it, Ya Rasulullah? He said, racism we want to remove. And we want to remove those who steal from people, like the highway thieves. That's all? That's all. Abu Dhar became a Muslim. When he became a Muslim, did he become a Muslim because there were some fantastic, logical, philosophical proofs? Islam was so simple. Yes? Islam was extremely simple. It was simple in the sense that it was a social reform program. Today, my friends in the West, when I want to tell them about Islam, do you know what I want to tell them? Islam is against racism. Islam is against trafficking. Islam is against slavery. When I talk like that to them about Imam Zaman, believe me, the most non-religious person will want to be with Imam Zaman. Yes? If I talk about Imam Zaman, he's in Ghaiba, and Imam Zaman, he will rule for this many years, and Imam Zaman has this many powers with Dhul Fiqar and Dhul Fiqar and Dhul Fiqar. He'll be like, you keep your Dhul Fiqar, I'll stay in sunny Spain for the weekend. Yes? You stay there. I'm relaxed in Spain on the Mediterranean. You're talking Dhul Fiqar, Dhul Fiqar. I'm relaxed in Spain, Baba. I have the sun in front of me. You want to bring me Dhul Fiqar? Let me enjoy my life. You found therefore Bilal, racism. Abu Dhar, highway trafficking and thieving. Ammar bin Yasir, his mother Sumayya, his father Yasir. Do you know how they became Muslim? How? What do you think? Because Rasulullah made Islam complicated? No. Ammar comes home one day, his shoulder brushes the idol in their house. Brushes the idol. The idol falls and breaks. Sumayya looks at him and says, Ammar, you see what you just did? He said, what? He said, you just killed God. You know, what baffles me until today, how some professor in top university can still believe in. And I wish it's just something made out of stone. Go on holiday in India, even the animal reached. The idol broke. Said, you just killed God. He said, Mom, did you hear what you just said? So what do you mean? So if I just killed God, why am I worshipping something I could kill? At that moment, his father looked at him, Yasir. He said, who taught you to speak like this? He said to him, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. At that moment, his father turned around. He said, what else has he taught you? He said, we just came from the revelation of Surah Al-Takwir. He said to him, what does Surah Al-Takwir say? He said, we just heard the ayah, وَإِذَا الْمَوْءُودَةُ سُئِلَتْ بِأَيِّ ذَنْبٍ قُتِلَتْ. The female baby shall ask on the day of judgment, why did you bury me alive? Sumayya began to cry. Ammar said, Mom, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you cry. Why are you crying? Yasir said, your mom had 2 older sisters before her. your aunties. Your granddad buried both of them alive when they were born. The second one, when he was burying her alive, she touched his beard. And he swore if he had a third daughter, he would not bury her alive. The third daughter is your mother, Sumayya. Sumayya, with the tears rolling down, she turned around. You know what she said? She said, "Oh Ammar, if that man has come to talk for the rights of girls from being buried alive, then me and your father will join Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam." Allahumma salli ala. Was it philosophy and theology? Did they have to be really religious? Not at all. It was a social reform program. With the Muslim, you could talk philosophy and theology. Christian, Jewish, Buddhist, Hindu, Sikh. But when you're talking to the non-religious average person, who's a good human being, the Mahdi that he will look for is not Dhul Fiqar Mahdi, yes? Nor is the Mahdi who will talk about Sulaiman or Yusuf. They'll say, "Excuse me, do you want to remove racism?" Yes. Do you want to remove slavery? Yes. Do you want to give rights to the woman from highway trafficking and sexual abuse? Yes. Then we will come towards you. That's why the Quran said, هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم. Allah sent a prophet from amongst them, a messenger. What did he do? He revealed the signs of Allah by purifying the society. Yes? When it says purifying the society, do you know what that means? That means that he came with a social reform program. Believe you me, in 2015, we have got Imam Zaman completely wrong. Imam Zaman, when he comes, he wants to bring a social reform to remove the ills of society. Yes? He wants to morally bring back that moral compass which his grandfather had brought to society. Yes? Your friend who's in Spain right now, in Italy right now, in Vegas right now, do not think they have absolutely no chance. That same person who works for the rights of humanity, that person has a phenomenal chance. All that they need is for the hidayah to come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why 6th Imam says what? The sons of Fatima will oppose the Mahdi. The worshipper of the sun and the moon will come towards him. What do we mean? Son of Fatima today. Yes? Sayyid. Son of Fatima. You're a son of Fatima Zahra. You have nothing else to do but abuse other Maulanas? You have nothing else to do but cause trouble between people? You've got nothing else to do but say who is right and who's wrong, who's going to heaven, who's going to hell? Who are you? Who? Who are you to walk around telling people who's right and who's wrong? You're a disgrace to Al Muhammad. Yes? Do you know how many we have in the school of Ahlul Bayt? Arrogant. You find them holier than everyone, thinking because we are Sadat, we are better than everyone. You will be judged the same as everybody else will be judged. Yes? Everybody will be judged the same. Tawus Yamani says to Imam Zain al-Abidin, he says to him, you cry by the Kaaba, you are Zain al-Abidin. He says to him, whether I'm a slave or a son of Bani Hashim, on the day of judgment, all of us are equal. Yes? Today, you find sons of Fatima causing trouble, fighting each other in the mosques, coming to punching each other over Azadari. You know this or no? You know this or no? There are people in Muharram, you know when Muharram becomes? Who's fighting who? Which Azadari is Muqassar? Who's a La'nati? And who are you to tell me what's a Muqassar? You who can't spell your name in Arabic, teach me what a Muqassar is. Disgusting. If they're with the Mahdi, I want to be with someone else. Put me somewhere else. I'm sorry. If these filth, who all they do is trouble Muharram, trouble Safar, made Imam al-Hussein look like a war zone, not a man of morals and justice. These, when 12th Imam comes, you've read the hadith. When the 12th Imam comes, his own Shia will say, this is not the Islam we want. His own. And believe you me, the ones who worship the sun and the moon, you look at their akhlaq, when you deal with them, they're better than us. When they come to our mosques, they try to wear hijab to respect us. They try and learn about our religion. They try and learn about our faith. They try and be open-minded. In our countries, you speak out against the government, straight away they put a clamp on you. Yes? Straight away. You speak out as a follower of Ahlul Bayt against anything, they put a clamp down on you. Whereas in the West, you see freedom of speech. People are allowed to express themselves. People are allowed to talk. They're allowed to think freely. Therefore, what do you find? You find that when the 12th comes, that person who's now worshipping the sun and the moon, he may not believe in Allah, but his akhlaq and his vision for society, he speaks out against injustice. Let me give you a few examples. Yes, a few examples. They say that when the 12th Imam comes, what are some of the signs of what he's going to do? The first one, the 12th will come when it becomes normal for a woman to be molested in the street in daylight, in front of her father, and the best of the people at that time will say it shouldn't have been done in daytime. Do you know how many girls in Bangladesh are in sex trade now or no? No one speaks for them. You know in Hyderabad how many are forced into slave labor? No one speaks to them. You know how many young boys in Thailand they forced into sexual? No one speaks for them. The max someone will say is it's a shame, that's it. But then there are good human beings who speak up for them and they're not Muslim. In Hyderabad, there is a doctor by the name of Sunitha Krishnan. She heads an organization in Hyderabad called Prajwala. She speaks out for the women, young girls in Hyderabad who are forced into sex slavery. Tell me this Dr. Sunitha Krishnan, she's not going to be with the Mahdi because she doesn't believe in Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib? That lady has done more for humanity than half of our Jama'ats. Our Husayniyas, the fight is what time is food? No, we're all with the Mahdi, not her. Her, who's going into the streets of Hyderabad to help the girls who are being sexually abused, she's not with the Mahdi because, sorry, she doesn't believe in 12th Imam. Her, she's not with the Mahdi and you are? You're with the Mahdi. Another organization, the Organization for Children in the Far East, in South Asia, they call it COSA, C-O-S-A. Children in Thailand who are sexually abused. Another organization, Urban Light, for young boys in Thailand who are forced into prostitution. Yes? These are all organizations by non-Muslims. These people, when 12th Imam comes, do you know what they'll do? They'll run to 12th Imam. Because they'll say, that man is who we're looking for. Because we've worked hard to remove trafficking. Prophet says, when 12th Imam comes, it will be normal to molest a girl in daylight. It's happening now. Bulgaria, it happens. Lithuania, it happens. Russia, it happens. Dubai, do you know how much trafficking there is of the sex slave now? In Dubai, I can't give majalis for Ahlul Bayt, but the sex slaves can all work in Dubai. Yes? I cannot give majalis for Ahlul Bayt, for the family of Rasulullah. But the sex slave industry can work. You're telling me these people in Dubai are going to be with Islam at the end? And Dr. Sunitha Krishnan and the person in Thailand who's working for humanity will not be? Therefore, you found the first sign. Second sign is what? Poverty will reach a level where when a person goes to his relatives, even they do not help him and his neighbors close the doors on them. There are parts of Uganda, I will be surprised if they have anything to eat for iftar, I guarantee you. There are parts of shanty towns in South Africa, believe you me, if they have bread for a meal between 10 people, it's good. When the 12th Imam comes, do I talk about 12th Imam Dhul Fiqar, he's going to fight with Dhul Fiqar and he's going to have Zul Jana and Dhul Fiqar. What are you talking about? 12th Imam comes, you're only concerned what horse does he have and what sword does he have? When he comes, he will go to that poverty-stricken community in the shanty towns of South Africa or in Uganda, and he'll say to them, I am the voice, I am the hujjah of Allah on this earth. Every poor person come talk to me. Like my grandfather Rasulullah spoke out, I will help you. I'll speak out for you. Whatever rights you want, oh you who are going through poverty. Yes, number two. Number three, another of the signs of the social reform 12th Imam. People with money and with children, will want to give them all up because of the oppressive rulers of their time. Saudi Arabia, there are people with money and children. They hate the government because of how oppressive the government is. The 4 daughters of King Abdullah, they're under house arrest because they spoke out for the rights of women in Saudi Arabia. The daughters of the king. All the wealth and children, he's put them under house arrest because they spoke out against the king. The blogger in Saudi Arabia, if you blog against the government, you get whipped. But when Saudi Arabia has oil, who can talk? Wallah, if it happened in Iran, we will have 50-page articles on it. Saudi oil. The blogger, prison. The king's own daughters, 4 of them, they're under house arrest because they spoke out for women's rights. Yes? You find, for example, today, one of Saudi was sentenced to being whipped. Sunni Saudi, who spoke out and said, we should pray with the Shia this Ramadan so we have unity. Whipped. A sign is what? That the 12th Imam will come. People with wealth and children hate the world because of oppressive rulers. The 12th will come. He'll say, let's speak out against the zalim rulers. Yes? No one remains silent. We speak out against poverty. We speak out against the sex slave. Against women being abused. We'll speak out against oppressive rulers. And what is the other sign? The other sign is that children of the followers of Ahlul Bayt will be beheaded by Sufyani, one after the other. Yes? You know, there's a hadith, Imam Amir al-Mu'min says, at the end of time, Sufyani will grab children in Kufa. He'll grab children in Kufa, and he will take them, and he will heat the oil which he burns them with, and beheads them, until 2 of the children, called Hassan and Hussein, say to him, if you are against our parents, why are you killing us? And he beheads every child called Hassan and Hussein. Today you see with this ISIS, yes? Would you believe on Al Jazeera, they done a poll. Al Jazeera, the television channel. What do you think of ISIS? 54,000 people voted. 80% of them said ISIS is good. You know why we need the Imam? Because we have filth in the religion of Islam like these people. Alhamdulillah if the non-Muslim joins the Imam, because we don't want the filth of ISIS and their lovers. 80% said ISIS is good on Al Jazeera. Yes? These people, you find the 12th Imam, people will join him. Why? Because they'll say, if there's a man who's going to fight the oppression of ISIS, whether we are Muslim or non-Muslim, we will join that man. Because the world does not want tyranny. You can be now in Spain, you could be in London, you could be in Monte Carlo. No one wants to see people beheaded on the television for fun. Yes? When the 12th Imam comes, he'll have that social reform program which the non-Muslim, non-religious will be attracted to. He'll say, if there is a voice for the poor, I'll join him. If there is a voice for the oppressed, I want to join him. If there is a voice for the woman who has no rights, I want to join him. Why? Because Ahlul Bayt's ethos from day one was what? If you don't believe in Allah, you don't believe in the Day of Judgment, then at least be free individuals.